rating. So
Yeah.
you can watch it live on kcaaradio.com, thematrockshow.com. Click on next week's episode, or of course you can watch this episode any other time after we upload it after the show. So this is tonight's lineup.
Ooh.
We are going to be sharing some fun stories that we've experienced together.
What was that, Rick Ross?
And we have a segment called The Key to Happy. That's new.
Happy
Spartan
Joy.
Academy. That should be fun. We're going to be talking about faith, hope, and love a little bit, heading into Tim's story. And we'll finish it out with some solid rock talk. I know that we're going to bring the energy. Here's what we want you to do. The Matt Rock Show is all about motivating, inspiring, encouraging, supporting, uplifting, and, of course, empowering you and everybody in your life, your friends, your family, your coworkers, everybody that you know across the world. We want to encourage you, if you enjoy any aspect of this show, make sure that you share it with those people in your life and on your social media.
Yes.
Let's take this across the world. So far, we've reached about 7 countries with this show.
Dude.
That's exciting. About 23, 24 states now, coast to coast, including Hawaii and Florida.
Wow.
That's fun. The majority of our listener and viewer base is here in California, but help us take this across the world. This is a global motivation and empowerment mission project.
It's a movement, man.
You know it is. So welcome to the Matt Rock Show. This is more than just Matt Rock and Tim Johnson. You are a part of this, so stay tuned. Let's have a fun hour. So let's jump into it. So we have some fun stories that we're going to head into. So let's start with how we met. Tim, how do we meet?
Oh, man. Well, we met at a church basketball league, man. And we saw each other on the court, and I was like, wow, this guy's pretty cool, you know, until you get to know him. No, that was a joke. That was a joke. Honestly. That was a joke. No, but we actually connected after the game. I liked his energy. He liked mine, and we just clicked and everything. And why don't you tell him what happened next?
Man, you were like, dude, we got to connect. Here's my number. Here's my Instagram, man.
Yeah.
Like, you're a really cool
and the
person.
dude does not hit me up.
I forgot.
Like,
other things were on my mind, I guess, and I forgot.
What is going on?
I see him the next week at the next basketball game. He's like, bro, like, we were supposed to connect. Like, what happened? And
he never hit me up.
I forgot, but he made
did,
sure.
Though. Persistence is key.
There you go. You got to be persistent with some people. And now we're best of friends. We're roomies.
Exactly.
This is my brother right here.
Word.
So that was a good time. So that's how we met. I know that started spending some time with your family right away.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Denny's Food Babies. We have some good pictures of that.
We have a picture. We're wearing the same Captain America shirt, and we actually have a food baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a really good time.
Yeah.
And so what happened next? So when I started spending some time with you and your family, at that point in my life, I really was going through some rough times. And if you guys know anything about me, I really connect with certain kinds of people and family. And I'm rather like adopted into quite a few families, and yours happens to be one of them. I'm so blessed and grateful for that. So shout out to our family back home. We love you guys. Thank you so much for the support.
I love you, Mom.
And
Dad.
and Gabby. There we go. Grandma, Grandpa, everybody. All right, too many to name. We love you. So then I remember one time I was hanging out, and we really like to spend some family time watching some of our favorite shows. And you guys were watching this show, Psych. Now, I'm a very selfish person with my time, and I remember hanging out with you, and typically I kind of want to do what I want to do, especially if it's in a group setting, and I'm working on that. But you guys were watching the show Psych. I thought it was stupid, and we're about to give stupid, and we're about to give Psych some free advertising and marketing here. But after you making me watch a few episodes, I started quoting the show. I started asking to watch it when I would come over and hang out with the fan band, and Psych really just became a part of our lives. And then a whole lot of started happening. So if you guys aren't gonna, if you guys can't tell already, we have a certain kind of energy and connection that is just really gonna be fun. So it's not gonna be weird. We're just gonna be vibing this entire show. You're gonna see a lot of this. Come on, Sid. You're gonna hear a lot of that.
Don't you ever do that again.
It's just who we are. Come on, Sid. But if you haven't watched Psych, we're really gonna really encourage you to watch that. That's a good time.
Oh yeah, shout out to James Roday.
Yeah. Dule Hill. That's one key to make your life better. Watch an episode of Psych.
You can't forget Lassie.
All of them.
Oh yeah.
So what happened was you hear on the radio, and I don't know if you exactly have a radio voice, but if you had a radio voice inspired by the show Psych,
inspired by the show Psych,
give us your best radio show voice, Tim Johnson.
Okay, gotta drop it a couple decibels. Oh yeah. Welcome everyone to the Matt Rock Show. Let's take it real nice and slow.
It's not that kind of show, man.
No, it's not. No, that was what Gus does in that.
Gus, how you feel? All right, so we're having a good time. Let's head into our next story. Front flip. So one thing I was afraid to do, I am rather clumsy. So are you.
Hey, I think you're more clumsy than I am.
Probably.
By like 1 brownie point.
Yeah, I walk on our house carpet and I twist my ankle, and it's leveled. It happens
He doesn't
all the
know
time.
I booby trap it every morning.
So, front flip. So, I remember we have a trampoline in the backyard. And if you guys can't tell already, I live with him and his family. It's been an incredible blessing. You have been so gracious to open up half of your room to me, man. Half the closet, half the shelf, half the space. I sleep on a mattress on the floor, and it's the biggest blessing of my life. Well, one of them. And I'm so grateful, man. So, one of these days last summer, I believe it was, we were out back on the new trampoline. It wasn't the new one at that time.
No, it wasn't.
And I've been afraid to do a front flip, a full one. Because it was just a fear of mine. And this guy is a beast when it comes to some acrobatics. He has a good time.
Well, I can do everything but a backflip.
Okay. And I wanted him to teach me. Now, it really took some time, but he was there with me. He was patient. He was persistent, and he really encouraged me. And I ended up doing a front flip, and I can't tell you how excited I was to do a front flip for the first time in my life and land it.
Oh, yeah.
And now some mornings I wake up and it's one of the first things that I do is go out to the trampoline.
And the way I taught you is you jumped up in the air and then I pushed you in the air. And you just kind of rolled like a ball.
Yeah.
You know, like a little roly-poly.
Until one time where I landed it. I think you got after a couple broken bones, but no, we're kidding.
That was an exaggeration.
But that was cool.
It was like 20 broken bones.
That was cool, and I learned how to do a front flip, and now I do it all the time, and it makes me feel so cool, and it reminds me that fears, what we're afraid of, it's really not that scary. If you can have the courage to continuously press on and achieve some of the goals you have, you have fun achieving them in the process.
It just takes some time sometimes.
It does take some time. Next story. Captain America saluting 2,000 Herbalife members.
Wow.
So we're both Herbalife members. I'm a distributor. This guy over here is a preferred member. One time we were at one of our success training seminars, and this guy was getting recognized on stage along with me. And this is one of my favorite moments almost in life. We were at the Long Beach Convention Center. There are over 2,000 people in the crowd, a lot of Herbalife members. Everybody's energized, healthy, fit, feeling incredibly amazing, and we're getting recognized. And they say Tim Johnson's name, and this dude salutes just like Captain America. I don't know if you could tell, but he looks like Captain America. He embodies Captain America. We call him Cap. And that was one of my favorite moments. How did it feel, really, to do something like that in front of 2,000 people?
It felt pretty awesome. It did. It did. It felt like that first scoop of applesauce, you know, where you just eat it, and it's like, wow, this is amazing. That was a weird metaphor, but it was awesome, man. It was super amazing.
Being Captain America and known formally as Captain America in front of 2,000 people.
Being known formally. People were coming up to me afterward and saying, "What's up, Cap?"
Just like applesauce.
Yeah, applesauce.
All right, barbecue fails and wins. So, one of the first weekends that I stayed over at this guy's house with him and his family, I had come back from a fishing trip with a good friend of mine, and we had been fishing. I brought home some fish, and we fired up the barbecue.
Fish.
You're right. It was one fish. Fired up the barbecue, and we roasted some sweet potatoes and the fish. And by we, I mean you. But in the picture on my Instagram, it looks like me with the cutoff tank. It's summertime. I had just worked out, just did some push-ups, so I was looking good. I had a nice haircut, and I have some oven mitts on. And, of course, it looks like I'm grilling, I'm barbecuing.
His face is like this. He's like,
in the picture,
what's going on?
in the picture, and the Facebook and Instagram post made it look like I was single at the time. I was one heck of a catch. Like, I'm cooking. Fellas, you better cook for your woman, and do. So I look pretty good on social media. But if you knew the backstory, Tim, what happened?
Oh, my gosh. So this guy tried to fillet a fish, and it was more like he butchered the fish. You know, we looked it up on YouTube, how to fillet a fish, and this guy, oh, my gosh, like, don't have him cook a fish for you at all.
Unless you want me to.
It was very bad. I didn't even know we were eating a fish.
I think your mom pulled up a picture earlier of what the fish looked like, and it looked like a scene from Glory, you know, the movie where everyone just dies because of Civil War, and they were shooting at each other. Yeah, it was kind of like that, but that was my barbecue fail.
But you know what? Now, you got better at it.
I did. So this weekend was my beautiful girlfriend Lindsay's birthday, desert camping trip. We got to play with wolves, and it was incredible. I was just looking at photos. I had a wolf lick and nibble on my face. Like, how badass is that? But besides the point, you know what? I told her friend Rob. What's up, Rob? Thank you so much for being a good friend.
Hi, Rob.
I told him, I said, look, I want to learn how to barbecue. I don't know how to barbecue. I was close to somebody a long time ago, and really what they did, the things that they said to me really made me feel incompetent and really made me feel like I couldn't do the simplest of things in life. So I'm actually afraid to help people do things in their own house, in their own area. And I told him I was afraid, and I don't barbecue. I don't know how to. So he showed me, and he took me under his wing. And guess what? I barbecued one heck of a lunch.
That's what's up.
And breakfast the next morning. And my girlfriend got pictures to prove it. So you know what? That's my barbecue win. You can do anything you set your mind to.
He went to the barbie. He laid him stuff on the barbie.
Yep. And that was a good time. Oh, that food was delicious.
I wish I would have had some.
Oh, and of course, my girlfriend thought it was super hot that I was making lunch and breakfast for everybody. So brownie points to me. Okay, so let's move on. We have a new segment called The Key to Happy. So we're going to start off with Tim. We'll take it tip by tip. So I know that most of us in the world really strive and really desire to be happy. Maybe that's an end goal. Maybe it's an immediate goal. Whatever it is, like, people don't want to feel sad. People don't want to feel fearful. They want to be happy. So we thought we would share some of the things that make us happy, if you will. Maybe joyful is a better word. And we'll give you guys some tips, and hopefully these really help you increase the amount and level of happiness you experience in your everyday life, and especially in 2013. Tim, what are one of your tips to being happy?
Being happy. Wow. My first tip for me is eating food. Healthy food, actually.
Yeah.
Staying fed, making sure I'm not hangry. That makes me happy. Happiness is dependent on my circumstances, and eating healthy helps me do that.
Yeah, you don't want to see him hangry. You don't want to see me hangry.
No, I actually turn into an enormous green rage monster.
True story.
Yeah.
All right, so the tip is to eat food, but healthy food. That fills you the right way.
Because it makes you feel better.
No doubt. Well, one of mine is this. Be diligent about this. Brush your teeth, floss your teeth, and put mouthwash? Yes, mouthwash in your mouth.
I think that's what it's called.
Day and night. So take care of your dental hygiene. Now, what that's going to do, other than obvious attractive qualities about you visibly, is you're going to start feeling healthier and more vibrant in your mouth area, and you're going to want to smile. Whether you smile a lot already or you don't, you're going to want to smile more. And when you smile, you can't help but feel happy. That's what happiness comes from in one aspect, is smiling. So the better dental hygiene you take care of, and my mom always said, you know, only floss the teeth you want to keep. So I'm not trying to have some dentures.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, take care of your grill. You're going to want to smile more, and then the ladies are going to be more attracted to you, fellas.
Make sure you smile real good, like these.
Just like that. Just like that. What's tip number 2, buddy?
For me, getting active and working out. I love doing that. It de-stresses me. I feel better about myself, and I love playing basketball. So that's one thing I go to relieve stress.
And you're a beast on the court.
Oh, well, thank you very much, man. Thank you very much. I try.
Come on, Sid.
Yeah. So that's my second tip.
So what was the tip again?
Getting active.
Get active.
Get active.
Get out.
Get outside. Do something.
So your thing is basketball. I know you like weight training a little bit.
Working out.
But great. Take a poodle for a walk. Take the 5-pound weights and power walk. Whatever you do.
Whatever works for you.
There we go. My tip is, all right. Now I really want you to think deep about this. Now here's the thing too. If you guys are here on the show, watching the show to support myself and or Tim Johnson, or you're a fan of the show, here's really what I want you to do. Take the show seriously. It's going to be entertaining. It is fun. It is motivational. But really, how can you apply what we share to your life? And if you choose to, great. That's really the intention of the show.
Oh, yeah.
So that was just a friendly reminder. I want you to think about when you were at when you were at not you. When you were at your most confident state in your life. How did you feel? What were you doing? Were you producing so much at work? Were you working out, eating healthy? Were you waking up early? Were you taking care of yourself? Were you in your Bible? What were you doing when you were the most confident in life? Think about that. Write down what you were doing. Now here's my tip. Do it again. And now be consistent. What's your next tip, buddy?
My next tip is actually freestyling. Shout out to my freestyle buddy, Zach James. But I actually love freestyling because it's something that gets you out of your comfort zone.
Big time.
And gets you, it builds confidence.
We are actually unofficially, freestyle battle rap champions of the Inland Empire in the Fontana 92335.
Very officially,
Avenue,
unofficially.
region. Yeah, so I think you prepared a freestyle rap? You prepared one for us?
I might have indeed.
Okay.
All right. Well, here we go. Here we go.
This is just off the top of your dome, right?
Off the top of my dome.
Okay.
For real. No doubt.
I feel it.
Matt and Tim here. We live on the air. We got some good news that we want to share. If you're hearing my voice, put your hands in the air. I'm freestyling on the show like I don't even care. Now that that's over, let me take it real slow. Listen to real close. Listen to what I flow. This is so dope. Yeah, you already know. I say one thing. Welcome to the Mad Rock Show.
What? Yes. That was the sickest freestyle.
Oh my gosh.
Rap I ever heard in my life.
You might want to get a bucket and like pour it on me because it's so hot right now.
Of ice water?
Yeah,
it's actually
ice
hot
water.
Here in the studio. I'm sweating a little bit. You got a little itty bitty fan. That's cute.
We have one fan, man.
Oh yeah.
Get it?
That was
one fan.
One fan. We have one fan of the Matt Rock Show.
That was corny.
But all right. That was good.
Thank you.
That was just off the top of the head. All right. I'm impressed. We are totally going to be freestyle battle rapping on the way home from the show tonight, grabbing some BJ's Pizza. All right. My next tip, do the things that make you feel like a kid again. What do you do that really brings out the joy in your life? Do those things. If people make fun of you, forget them. They are just lacking the confidence to really step into their own uniqueness in their own life and to be themselves and who God called them to be anyway. So whatever it is that makes you feel joyful and like a kid, I want to encourage you, do it. Whenever you can, as much as you can, as often. Because when time is over here on earth, it's over.
Yeah.
So do it. What's your next tip, buddy?
Well, I actually divided this into joy now. Because joy is not based on circumstances. It's actually like what you really are.
That's right.
I get joy from my family and friends, and not just time with them, but quality time, like openness, because they know everything about me. They know who I am, and when they know who I am, they can really support me. I don't have to put on a mask with them. So I would say spend time with your family and friends, and let them really get to know you. Be open with them, because there's freedom in that.
I love it. My next tip is, be a best friend to yourself. Love yourself first. Now, this guy right here and many of my other best friends, I have many best friends, they treat me with the utmost respect, love, and humility, and everything else there is for you to be a friend to somebody. Now, if you do that for somebody else, or somebody else does it for you, imagine if you did that for yourself in your own life. Like, you really have to understand how to love yourself to love other people, but be your own best friend. Lift yourself up. Encourage yourself. Speak life into yourself day in and day out. Eat healthy. Take care of yourself. Do all the things we're sharing with you on how to do on the show. And there's nothing like self-love. So that's my tip. Be a best friend to yourself. Love yourself first. A whole lot of awesomeness is going to flow from that. What's your next tip?
Well, I'm a Christian, and my source of joy really comes from Jesus and His presence in my life. And spending time with God. That's where my joy comes from.
Amen. So my next tip is, face and conquer your fears with courage. Now, the things that you are afraid to do. Now, if you're listening and watching the show right now, I want you to briefly, for a quick second, think, what am I afraid of? What am I afraid to do in my life? It could be taking that leap in business, career, school, personal growth.
It could be a front flip.
Oh, yep. And it could be in a relationship or talking to that girl or guy, whatever it is. I challenge you and encourage you this week. You don't have to do it right now, but that's even better. This week, face and conquer one of your fears. Now, it's going to take courage. It's not easy, or else you would have already done it.
Yeah.
And you'd be living a much better, more joyful, and exciting life. So face and conquer one fear, and it's going to take a whole lot of courage. And courage is sexy. So
yeah, and Matt, you actually wrote something in my adventure journal about fear. You said, fear is false evidence appearing real.
You know that's right.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to you.
Thanks, man. Do you have another tip, or do I have my bonus tips coming up?
No, you got your bonus
tips.
tips.
Yeah. So I have 2 bonus tips. Well, number one, bonus tip number one. You guys weren't expecting that. Watch Psych.
Yes. Do it. Do yourself a favor. Get Netflix. Watch Psych. Wait, no, it's not on Netflix anymore.
Oh, man. Here's
Go
what
on
you can
Amazon. Buy the whole
seasons 1 through 8. Tim, put your left hand up like this. Come on, Sid. You're going to see a whole lot of that on the show. It's a
I'm
good time.
going to walk off the show in like 2 seconds, guys.
See ya, man. Yeah, check out Psych. I don't know why, but that show brings me so much comfort, so much joy. I could be having come on, said I could be having a terrible day, and that really just lights up my day. You know what? There are certain things that God has blessed certain people to do, and psych is one of those things.
Yes.
So check it out. My bonus tip number 2: Google and check out, of course, none other than Chuck Norris facts. Tim, what is your favorite Chuck Norris fact?
First of all, I love Chuck Norris. Shout out to you, Chuck. I wish I could meet you someday. Chuck Norris was actually bitten by a cobra. Most people don't know. And after days of excruciating pain, the cobra died.
Man.
Yeah, I know. That poor cobra. He didn't know what he was in for. Matt, what's yours?
My favorite I have 2. My favorite Chuck Norris, 3 actually. My favorite Chuck Norris facts. I can't get enough of these bad boys. Chuck Norris, of course, can slam a revolving door.
He can.
Think about that one.
Yeah.
You know what? Jesus could walk on water, but Chuck Norris can swim through dry land. That's a good one. And, of course, to finish it off, Chuck Norris was born in the same log cabin that he built with his bare hands. Okay, so my tip is check out a Chuck Norris fact, because when you read them and you try to figure it out, it does nothing but bring you joy. So
it'll definitely roundhouse kick you in the face.
With laughter and joy. Okay, you guys, so if you guys are just now tuning into the show, we here at the station, along with Carlos and Tim, myself, want to say...
Welcome to the Matt Rock Show. Welcome to the Matt Rock Show. Welcome to the Matt Rock Show. Welcome to the welcome to the welcome to the welcome to the welcome.
Gab on them, son.
To the Matt Rock Show.
There you go. You weren't ready for it. All right, welcome to the Matt Rock Show.
Oh, yeah.
Let's speed this up. Okay, we have a new segment to the show. A whole lot of new segments, because we do whatever we want with the show. It is a good time.
It is your
We call
show.
this Spartan Academy.
Woo!
Oh, man, I was so excited for that when I heard that earlier.
Here, man.
Oh, that's so good. Okay, you guys, so what I have, now let me explain Spartan Academy, because I just created this today. So Spartan Academy, or in other words, becoming a superhero that fires you up. What fires me up are Spartans. Spartan attitude, Spartan lifestyle, King Leonidas. I was a Spartan for Halloween 3 years in a row. You get it. What is your Spartan Academy? For this guy, it's Captain America. For me, it's King Leonidas, Spartan lifestyle. So what I have are 10 Spartan Academy steps to making 2017 more badass for you. But you're going to have to dive in deep. You're going to have to apply these to your life if you want to see the change. Check it out. We have Spartan Academy tip number 1.
Ooh.
Yeah, fires me up, man.
I just want to get fired up right now.
Take cold showers. Why? Because it's uncomfortable.
It is.
All right? And if you can willingly do more uncomfortable things, now there are many benefits to cold showers, but I don't know all of them. But I experienced them. I've done some of these things today, so I can speak with integrity on the show. A cold shower really wakes you up, and you want to wake up in the morning.
Oh,
you don't want to slumber away and miss out on your life. Cold showers really wake you up, and you just feel more badass. Like, I took a cold shower. I'm a beast. Spartan Academy tip number 2.
I love this music, man.
Carlos is the man.
Carlos.
Wake up before sunrise. Now, these are my tips that I don't do them all the time. I wish I did, but instead of wishing, you know what? I'm just going to commit to it. So do this with me. Wake up before sunrise. There's something so powerful about waking up before the sun comes up. You have so much more time in your day and opportunity to beast your life, to give more and to receive more and to do the things that you love, to add more value to the people that you come across in your job, at home, with your friends, on your social media, and stop scrolling. Go out and see the sunrise.
Delete
the sunrise
social media from your phone.
He's done it. He's experienced a lot of success with that as far as his personal joy and happiness.
Yep.
That should be a tip right there.
Oh, yeah.
Spartan Academy tip number 3. Start the day off with an uncomfortable but healthy decision. So in other words, eat the frog. I've done this a few times. I didn't eat a frog.
Oh.
And I don't think I will. But I think you're really not going to make much progress in your life. Progression is moving forward, and new level, new devil. It gets harder the better your life gets with your job, relationship, your personal growth, whatever it is. The better you get, the bigger the obstacles and challenges, of course. So eat the frog. First thing in the morning, do something that is so uncomfortable, but it's not going to hurt you. It's not going to kill you. It's rather healthy for you. So maybe it's going out before the sun rises and doing 40 push-ups until you get exhausted. That's good for you. It's very uncomfortable. I don't want to do push-ups in the morning.
That'll get you buff.
It will, like this guy. But it
Like
makes
you, man.
Thank you. It makes you feel so good. So do something uncomfortable to start your day off, because then, of course, you can do so much more. If I could handle that, if I could do it, today's going to be easy. I can make that sales call, no problem. I can walk up to that door, no problem. I can ask that girl out, no problem. I can do this, I can do that. I can face my fears, no problem. All right, Spartan Academy tip number 4. Fire me up, Carlos. Okay, get yourself on a nutrition program.
What?
Fit feels so good. We both have experienced this. Fit feels incredible. When you're healthier, you're more energized, you got some muscles, you're feeling rippity ripped. You're losing weight, or you're putting on muscle mass like us. You start smiling bigger, your confidence starts getting better, and you start walking with your head held higher. Your days are better. You are more attractive to your partner or to potential partners. Like, everything gets better when you take care of yourself. Fit feels incredible. And of course, you'll get some abs if you do it right. If you need help with your nutrition, you know who to hit up. I'm your boy, Matt Rock. Welcome to the Matt Rock Show. Spartan Tip Academy. Spartan Academy tip number 5. All right, get yourself. Wow.
I got the voice thing down now.
Dude, you do. Get yourself on a consistent workout regimen, whatever that is for you. He kind of touched on that earlier. I like to strength train, so does this guy. We like to hit the weights. And you know what? One thing I'm not great at is being consistent in the gym. But you know what? The show isn't just for you. It's for me and for him as well. So you know what? Together, let's stay consistent in the gym. Simply go to YouTube. Find out basic beginner workouts. You have access at your fingertips, but you're spending it scrolling, looking at strangers you don't even know, wasting away your life. So might as well invest your time and get on a consistent, amazing, and applicable workout regimen.
Drop the mic.
Spartan, I would if I was holding it. Spartan Academy tip number 6. All right, we have mirror, shower, jogging, car affirmations. Wherever you like to do that. I like to do it in the car, in the shower, sometimes in the mirror, but mostly in the shower and in the car. Now, I know this may be very uncomfortable, but when you get out of your comfort zone, you start speaking life into yourself, you just start feeling so much better, because so many people are talking negative out in the world. You have to lift yourself up. Be that voice, because not many people are willing to be that for you. Affirm yourself. Spartan Academy tip number 7. Watch the movie 300. Duh. Spartan Academy tip number 8. All right. Fight life on your knees. Pray it up. You can only do so much standing and taking. Thank you. And taking on life by yourself. Fight life on your knees. Watch what happens.
Yep.
You know what I mean. Spartan Academy tip number 9.
9.
Attack your mindset. Getting so close to this mic. Attack your mindset. Book of choice. What do you need to learn to grow and develop at this point in your life? What is it? Your finances, your personal development, maybe your relationship, your confidence, your faith. Pick a category. Now, if you want, you can email me and you can ask me what books do I suggest, because I love reading personal development books, and pick a book in that category that will help you take your life to the next level. Self-help is incredible. Personal development. Spartan Academy tip number 10.
Number 10. Number 3, my lord. Number 3, my lord.
Take responsibility for your life.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes.
So uncomfortable, but so good. Boys, you'll feel like a man. You will become a man when you take responsibility for your life. I am learning to do this more and more. There we go. Bonus Spartan Academy tip number 11. This is a funny one. Pluck a nose hair or 2. I dare you. I did this earlier today just to experience it. If you're a grown man, I dare you not to cry plucking a nose hair or 2. So if you think you're a beast and you're big, you're bad, you're buff, and you're a bully, go pluck.
I actually had to comfort you the other day because you were crying.
I was crying in a corner. Yeah. I really wasn't. Maybe that's true. I don't know.
A little bit.
That's a funny one, but I dare you to do it. So uncomfortable. Start your day off like that. Watch what happens. If you can live through that, you can live through anything. Wow. Bonus Spartan Academy tip number 12. This is the last one. No retreat, no surrender mentality. You could do this in your workouts. You could do this in your relationship. You could do this in life with your personal development and your growth. No retreat, no surrender mentality means that if it's something worth fighting for, if it's something worth committing for, when you fall, you will rise. If you fall 7 times, you will rise 8. So, no retreat, no surrender. I think we have.
Awesome.
Oh, there we go.
Arcadian.
Oh.
Spartans.
I'm
never
hearing
retreat.
voices in my head.
Spartans never surrender.
Oh, I love that movie. It fires me up. Okay, let's go ahead and move forward. So, dude, this show goes by so quick.
It does.
We are behind schedule,
We're
but here's
almost
what
all
we're
done.
going to do. We have 2 segments left. We have Solid Rock Talk, and then I'm going to give you the rest of the time really just to kind of dive into your story. So let's go ahead and dive into Solid Rock Talk. We'll spend a few moments on that. Solid Rock Talk is really where we take a book that I've experienced, a personal development, self-help kind of book, and we talk about some concepts. We talk about some of our favorite ideas and quotes. We'll dive into it. If you feel inspired by any aspect of it, check out that certain book. You can tell we have a lot of books. Like 9 of these have been on the show so far. Today's Solid Rock Talk book is none other than the Bible. I have here the New International Version with me. What we want to do is we each wrote down 3 of our favorite Bible verses and why they are. And we're going to keep it very brief, very quick to move on with the show. But feel free to reach out. If you want to dive deeper into this with us, you can reach out to me via my email, which is on thematrockshow.com, or thematrockshow.com at gmail.com. There we go. Or you can reach out to Tim. His email is under Season 1 episodes as well. You can contact either one of us to dive deeper in if you feel inspired to do that. One of my favorite Bible verses is Proverbs 10:14. Let me read that to you. This is the New International Version. Proverbs 10:14. The wise store up knowledge, but the mouth of a fool invites ruin. Now, I'm not somebody to teach on the Bible, and we're not pushing anything on you guys. We're just kind of sharing what we're passionate about, what we love. But why really I chose that as one of them is the wise store up knowledge. Knowledge, of course, backed by action, is very powerful in your life. But if you don't store up knowledge in your life via personal development, knowledge of truth, knowledge of circumstance, knowledge of what's going on around your life, what's possible for you, really, you're making a foolish decision. But the mouth of a fool invites ruin. The more you learn, you've heard the more you learn, the more you earn in life. But really, the more you learn, the better life gets, the wiser you grow. I could talk about this forever. I'm going around in circles. That verse just really speaks powerful to me. I love Proverbs. We're going to jump into one of your favorite scripture.
Definitely. Well, one of my
Verses.
favorite scriptures is Romans 8:28, which actually says, and we know that God works out everything for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose. And I love that because that means he can take my failures, he can take the good times, the bad times, the times that I hate, and if I give it to him, if I give my life to him, he can use it for his glory and for my good. He makes beauty from ashes, and that's amazing.
No doubt. My second favorite Bible verse is Matthew 7:24-27. Not just because it's my name, but here's why. I'm going to read it and then I'll kind of expand on that. Anyone who listens to my teaching, this isn't me talking. This is the word. Anyone who listens to my teaching and follows it is wise, like a person who builds a house on solid rock. Though the rain comes in torrents and the flood waters rise and the winds beat against that house, it won't collapse because it is built on bedrock. But anyone who hears my teaching and doesn't obey it is foolish, like a person who builds a house on sand. When the rains and floods come and the winds beat against that house, it will collapse with a mighty crash. When you read that, and you can go look on the Bible online or in your YouVerse Bible app or your own Bible, you can really read that and you picture it. It's so visual. I love how the Bible is so visual and it makes sense to you. But these verses actually inspired the name and the birth of my real estate investing company, Solid Rock Investors, which is a limited liability company. I love that, and it's truth in itself. I don't even need to add anything else to it. What's your next Bible verse?
My next one is Jeremiah 29:11, and I love this. He says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans for welfare and not for calamity, to give you a future and a hope." And even though I may go through hard times, Jesus says, "I know the plans I have for you, and you just have to trust me." You know?
Come on, son.
I know. Come on, son. It's his living love letter to me. You know.
And my last of the 3 that I'm talking about today for the Bible verses comes from Song of Songs, chapter 1, verse 2. Now, this is really where a wife and a husband are going back and forth. Check it out for yourself. But this is kind of funny where I get to share about it. But she is speaking, not me. She is speaking, and she says, "Let him kiss me with the kisses of his mouth, for your love is more delightful than wine. In today's
Wait,
society,
the Bible's romantic?
what? Come
The
on,
Bible
son.
talks about relationships?
Come on, son. So in a world where rap and hip hop and not that rap and hip hop are bad because we do it all the time,
No.
but sex, money, drugs, all those things are really being pushed out into mainstream, and we're seeing women
Well,
with
in the wrong perspective.
yes. Thank you. This is why he's here on the show to help me out.
'Cause sex is good. God created sex.
There, amen. And
In marriage and everything.
yes, and in today's society, I think most of us forget what romance is. I think most of us forget what it's like to feel love and experience love. And so many young women and men desire love, desire affection, desire to feel something more, not just in their body and in lower and upper regions, but we're talking in the heart, in the mind, in the spirit. And when she says, let him kiss me with the kisses of his mouth, how simple is that? But if you can imagine something so passionate, so sweet, so simple and soft, something as that, I know every woman desires love. I know every man deep down in his heart as well desires love and passion and to fight for a woman. Check out episode 3 with Vanessa Borrowell where we talk about Wild at Heart, where we dive deeper into that. And of course, for your love is more delightful than wine. We know women love wine. And of course, his love is more delightful than wine. So men, we want to encourage you. Be a man that is of love and of courage and of inspiration, more than of what your buddies want you to be and what you feel you need to be because of society and all of these things. Be the man of God that God has really created you to be, and be the rock for your woman, whether she exists now and you know that, or she is somewhere in your future. But just know women desire to be loved and cherished. So you heard it here on the Matt Rock Show. Do you have another Bible verse?
I got one last verse, and it's Psalm 139, 13 and 15.
Okay.
It says, "For you formed my inward parts. You wove me in my mother's womb. I will give thanks to you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Wonderful are your works, and my soul knows it very well." And I love this because you're beautiful. You're loved.
Thank you.
You're a masterpiece. I'm talking to the camera, but you also, man.
Appreciate that.
But he says right here, you're fearfully and wonderfully made. I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. You know, I'm God's masterpiece. I am fearfully, wonderfully made. I'm not a mistake.
Amen.
You know, and even before I was born, he started forming me in my mom's womb. He knew me before I was born, which actually kind of goes into my story a little bit.
So let's go ahead and dive into your story. Here on the Matt Rock Show, we have 15 minutes left. So really, I kind of want to give you the space really just to share your heart, Tim, and to speak whatever comes and flows into your heart, your mind, your spirit. If you want me to ask questions to kind of penetrate deeper into that, feel free. But I'm really here just to check out your story, and this is really for the world to be inspired by. So yeah, just talk, man. Share whatever you want to share.
Well, thank you, man. It's an honor to be able to share my story right now. And everybody's got a story. You know? Everybody's got a story. So, yeah, I grew up in a Christian family. We go into church every Sunday and everything like that. And when my mom and dad actually found out that my mom was pregnant, because my dad didn't get pregnant, but my mom was pregnant with me, they actually prayed about what to name me. And they both heard the name separately, Timothy, which means honoring God. And so they named me Timothy. And they flipped the coin for my middle name, and my dad won, so now it's Timothy Michael Johnson and everything. But at 4 years old, my mom actually sat me down and explained to me what being a Christian was. You know, that Jesus died for my sin, that there were consequences to my sin, and if I turn to him, he'll forgive me, and he'll make me new. And I did. And I remember at 4 years old doing that, and I remember the joy that came with that, even at such a young age, and that childlike faith, you know. But that's, you know, being a Christian doesn't mean your life's all perfect at all.
Not at all, not even close.
At 4 years old, in church actually, by a person at church, I was actually molested. And statistics say that 1 out of every 4 people are molested sometime during their life. And there was a lot of shame with that. I didn't tell my mom till I was 12 years old. And there was a lot of shame, a lot of like, I don't want to tell anybody because what are they going to think of me, you know? But there was so much freedom, so much openness in actually coming out with that and saying, this is what happened. And so I was molested. And also being a Christian doesn't mean everything's perfect in your family, you know. My family, I actually come from a broken family. my parents who separated when I was 10 and everything. And they were separated for 2 years. I didn't get to see my dad a lot. And for a kid who's 10 years old, not being able to see his dad, it takes its toll. It takes its toll on you. And you have a lot of feelings of anger toward, you know, say your father, that show itself later on down the years and everything. But by the grace of God, and only by Jesus, my parents got back together. My mom and my dad made it work, and they are happy today. And think you can attest to that, man.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I really can.
And
Yeah, so seeing that for the past 2.5 years.
He healed my parents. He healed my family. And not only that, but he healed my relationship with my dad. My dad, I went from not wanting to admire him, not wanting to be like him, to now I want to be a father just like my dad. And I think that's because I've been forgiven so much. I can forgive, and likewise. And it's just amazing how I look at how my family was and how it is today. And no amount of self-help was going to do it. No amount of counseling was going to do it. But Jesus and open communication. You know, it has to be that open communication. And so he healed my parents' relationship. And, you know, ever since then, that time in my life, it was the hardest time in my life. But that really made my faith my own. That was the thing that made me say, you know what, either Jesus is real or he's not. And he says he's the way, the truth, and the life. And am I going to believe it or I'm not going to, you know? And he didn't just make me a better person, because I'm not perfect. And Christianity is not about getting all your crap together so you look good. Christianity is about laying your crap out and allowing him to come change you. And you know, he died on the cross for my sins, all those secret sins that if people found out about, they'd be like, whoa, you do that? You did that? You did this?
I think we all have some of those.
God knows that, man. And he says, I still love you. And I think that's what I found in Christ. Not a set of rules, not a set of rules or laws that I have to obey or else I'm not going to be a good person. But I found real life. I found real hope. I found real joy, real peace. Peace that's not in my circumstances. I like to put it this way. Imagine you're on a boat, and the boat is in the ocean, and there's a storm brewing. You got wind, you have waves, water's coming inside the boat, you have lightning that strikes, you have thunder everywhere, you're scared stiff, but you know who the captain is, and you know you're going to make it to dry land. That's peace, and Jesus is my captain. And real joy, you know, it's great to be happy, but real joy goes deeper than happiness, you know. Real joy comes from me knowing who Jesus is and knowing who I am in Christ. Because I realize I'm not what I do. I'm not just a student. I'm not just a friend or a brother. Like, I'm a new creation in Jesus. Like, I'm a child of the living King, you know.
How amazing is that?
You actually find out who you are. And all those questions of who am I? Why am I here? This and this and this. It's like, it's all answered in Christ for me. And real joy, real peace, and real hope. I know where I'm going after I die. And that shows itself in how I live right now. And this kind of life goes so much deeper than any material thing, any thing on the surface that, you know, I put out to make me look good, or everybody puts their best thing up on social media, their best face on social media.
Everybody looks good on social media. I look
Everybody
good
does.
flipping hamburger patties and sweet potatoes on social media.
But the things you don't put on social media, God sees those, and he says, I still love you.
Like the murdered fish. He loves me for that.
Yeah. And actually, real quick, on my birthday,
Yeah.
my dad took me out to eat, and it was a great time. Because afterward, we were in the car, and he was saying, Tim, I love you. I'm so proud of you. I prayed for our family for years, and when you were born, God answered the desire of my heart, and you were the desire of my heart. And, you know, I'm in tears. My dad's in tears. And he said, I love you and I'm proud of you. And I heard God speak to my heart, and he said, Tim, that's the way I feel about you. I'm your father. I love you. I'm proud of you. You're the desire of my heart. It's like that relationship I have with my dad, that's the type of relationship God wants with me through Christ. And I think when I fall more in love with Jesus, everything else just takes second place, man. Like he's my first love, and he's the best thing that's in my life. So that's my story, man. He takes the horrible things like being molested and coming from a broken family, and just makes it beautiful. He makes it a testimony. He takes a test, turns it into a testimony. There you go.
You're probably gonna hate me for this, man, but I think that so many women out there are looking for that kind of man in church, but they need to be watching the Matt Rock Show. You single guy, you.
Thanks, man.
I can't wait to see all these
telling
emails coming in.
I'm single. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you got it, Cap. You got it, Cap.
No,
You're quite the catch.
I am actually very content.
You are. I
Very
know this. You are focusing on your
yeah.
life, and that is incredible.
It'll happen when it will happen.
Of course,
In the
man.
right time.
Big time.
Oh, yeah.
I just like to give you a hard time. Dude, so earlier when we were talking about the freestyle, you totally told me a freestyle where you were dogging on me, man.
I was dogging
and
on
I
you,
was
bro.
so hoping that you would share that here on the show. Do you remember that? Or
Oh, my gosh.
because if you don't, that's okay. We can move on. But I was just actually kind of hoping you would say that because that was a good time.
It was...
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Actually, if you guys want to hear us freestyle battle rap, what you can do is actually hang out
Wow.
with us outside of the show, and we'll drive somewhere. We'll get some food, and we'll do it in the car. So
Oh,
we're
yeah.
not going to do it here live on the air.
And I promise you there will be a lot of laughs. A lot of laughs. It'll be a great time.
It'll be a really good time. There's nothing more embarrassing than totally bombing on a freestyle battle rap in front of people. I say battle rap. We're not really battling. But... You guys, we have 6 minutes left here on the show, so what we want to do is really just go with where our hearts take us. We have a few minutes, so Tim, is there anything that you would like to encourage any viewer, any listener, whether you know them or not, to really take on this year personally? You know, a lot of people want to move forward with their life, and they are afraid of taking the action. They're afraid of taking a leap out on faith.
Yeah.
They're afraid of changing their circumstances because of what people think about them. Can you think of anything that you can provide for people maybe to take on, to encourage them, to challenge them this year?
I would say find someone that really supports you and just start building a relationship with them, a relationship where you can be open with them. Open about your struggles, open about how you feel in certain moments, and knowing that they're not going to judge you, but they're here to help you and lift you up and maybe tell you when you're not doing something right and encourage you when you're doing something good. But I found that in that openness, in letting people in into actually who you really are, especially for me, my relationship with God, but also with my family and my friends, there was so much freedom in that, you know? I think so oftentimes we want to control our lives, we want to make ourselves look good, and it's not until you show people your scars that there's real freedom.
Yeah.
So show your scars. Show your scars.
Yeah, we're not going to dive into it, but I've actually experienced one of the most uncomfortable moments in my life where I actually got to show a scar, and it was very fresh at the time in front of your family. You guys, there's nothing, like you just said, really more freeing than really unveiling who you are, what you've done, and be careful with that. Don't broadcast it.
No, don't
please.
broadcast it. But for me, it's, you know, sharing my scars and having Jesus just cleanse those.
Big time.
It's amazing.
Doesn't matter who you are loved, you are incredible.
Yep, you're beautiful.
And you're not just hearing it here from the Matt Rock Show, from Tim Johnson and Matt Rock, but really it was with you before you were born. And we just want to really remind and encourage you guys that you are loved, you are special, you are unique. You have something within you that the world needs to experience, and you have to experience it for yourself. Dive deep down into the pit and the depths of your heart, your spirit, your mind, your soul, and really, really find out who you are. Live that out. Experience it. It's going to take some courage. It's going to take some guts. It's going to take some cojones. Como es said. It's going to take some of these. And, yeah, so what we're going to do is now we are going to close out the Matt Rock Show. So, again, my name is Matt Rock. I've been your host here. Thank you so much, Tim. This has been my special guest of Season 1.
This has been awesome.
Episode
it's been so much
10.
fun.
Tim Johnson, Captain America over here. This is a memory we're going to look back on forever.
Dude,
so
and De La's playing.
Dude,
shout out to George the Jungle and Brendan Fraser. Like, That is the best movie ever, man.
It is. That brings pure joy right
It
there.
does.
So we want to thank you, our audience, for watching, for listening, for rocking with us in 2017. Remember, this isn't just for us. This is for you. Live out your best life this year. Become the badass that you are. We believe in you. Reach out if you need support. If you want to connect, you can reach Tim at his email, which will be showcased on the MattRockShow.com.
Yeah, it's
also mine.
It's cap_42 at iCloud.com.
There you go. You can also find this episode any other time after tonight's airing on the MattRockShow.com under Season 1 episodes. You can follow me on Instagram at The Matt Rock Show. Make sure that if you were inspired, encouraged, empowered, uplifted in any sense of those words, share this episode and the MattRockShow.com with your friends, your family, and on your social media. Add some value to your social media today. So thank you so much, you guys. Tune in to episode 11 next week, where I will not be hosting the show. To find out who's hosting the show, you got to tune in.
What?
Make sure
you're the
you add
special
us on.
guest next week?
What? You just gave it away. What's going on? We have 3 special guest hosts, and I'm not going to let you know who they are, but he's one of them. And it's going to be such a good time. So now we are going to rock
Snap,
out
crackle, pop.
to De La, which is one of our favorite songs. You guys have a badass week. You are loved. You are incredible. You
matter.
Here on the MattRockShow.com.
Yes, you're beautiful.
This isn't the MattRockShow.com. This is
love
the Matt Rock Show.
guys.
Yep. We're just
I
going to
love
end
you
it
too,
there.
man.
Salute.
Oh, yeah.
Peace out, you guys.
Peace.
Have an amazing week. Turn it up, Carlos.
If I could give a shape to this ache that I have for you, if I could find a voice that says the words that capture you, I think I know, I think I know, I think I know, I think I know, I think I know why the doghouse at the moon, I think I know why the doghouse at the moon, I say, Della, when I'm with you. Della, Sandela, Mama Sandela, I burn for you. I've been waiting for you all my life, hoping for a miracle. I've been waiting day and night, day and night. I've been waiting for you all my life, waiting for redemption. I've been waiting day and night. I burn for you. Sandela, Sandela, Mama Sandela, I burn for you. I've been waiting for you all my life, hoping for a miracle. I've been waiting day and night, day and night. I've been waiting for you all my life, waiting for redemption. I've been waiting day and night. I burn for you, burn for you. I burn for you, burn for you. I burn for you, burn for you. I burn for you.
KCAA Loma Linda.
Jonathan Young is one of the most favorite guests on that show, Ancient Aliens.